In this position, White's king starts on the edge of the board, but gradually moves toward the center, where it becomes much more active. After King F2, King E3, and King D4, the king is centrally placed, where it dominates key squares like D4 and E5, crucial for both controlling Black's pawns and supporting White's own pawns. The central king restricts Black's king, and by the time White's king captures Black's pawn on A4, the game is essentially won. Centralizing the king in such endgames helps control critical squares, support pawns, and restrict the opponent's options, which is a key endgame strategy seen in many professional games. In this position, the principle of opposition is key to promoting White's pawn. White's king advances to D5, directly opposing Black's king on D7, forcing it to retreat. After King E5, White maintains control over critical squares, ensuring the pawn's safe advancement. By the time the pawn reaches E7, White's king supports its promotion at E8. The opposition ensures that White's king outmaneuvers Black's, creating a path for the pawn to promote successfully. In Rook endgames, keeping your rook active is critical. In this position, White starts with Rook F7, immediately pressuring Black's pawns. Active rooks dominate open files, create threats, and force the opponent into a defensive posture. Instead of passively defending, White uses the rook to invade Black's position, doubling rooks and targeting weaknesses. Active rooks turn defense into attack, often tipping the balance in your favor. Remember, in endgames, an active rook is far more valuable than a passive one. A passed pawn has no opposing pawns to block its advance and serves multiple purposes. It can distract, tie down enemy pieces, or march toward promotion as a decisive threat. In this position, White's c-pawn advances with c5, creating a passed pawn that acts as a distraction. The Black king is forced to stop it, allowing White to advance the h-pawn. Passed pawns like this are not always meant to promote. They can create opportunities for other pawns to succeed. The Lucena position is a cornerstone of Rook endgames, showcasing how to promote a pawn with precise technique. In this setup, to win, White must bring their rook to the 4th rank with Rook E4, preparing to shield the king from checks. After forcing the Black king to retreat with Rook E2 check, the rook moves to E4, setting up a defensive wall. Black may try to delay with moves like Rook B2, but White's king advances, using the rook to block checks and eventually promoting the pawn. The key idea in the Lucena position is building a bridge with the rook, ensuring the pawn's promotion. Mastery of this technique is essential for Rook endgames. The Philidor position is an essential Rook endgame for holding a draw. In this setup, the defending side uses precise rook placement to neutralize the opponent's advantage. If White pushes the pawn, Black's rook shifts behind it, delivering checks and forcing a draw. This method, often called the 3rd rank defense, is a cornerstone of proper Rook endgame strategy. In pawn endgames, breakthroughs are crucial for creating winning chances. Black trade knights and then push pawns on both sides of the board, sacrificing a few, but in exchange of unstoppable promotion of one of the pawns. Understanding these breakthrough patterns is vital for converting equal positions into victories in pawn endgames. The rule of the square is a simple way to determine if a king can catch a pawn. If a pawn is on A5 aiming to promote, imagine a square extending from A5 to A8, then across to H8 and back to H5. If the opposing king is inside the square, or touching it, it can catch the pawn. If it's outside, the pawn will promote. This rule is an essential tool for quickly calculating pawn races in endgames. Zuzwang is a position where any move weakens the player's position, often leading to a loss. In the given position, White can start by advancing the h-pawn. Black cannot move the king, so the only move he can play is pushing the b-pawn. You take it and walk your pawn to a checkmate. Understanding Zuzwang positions like this is key to converting endgames by exploiting the opponent's lack of good moves. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing because new chess lesson under 5 minutes is coming up every week.